Counselor Accents Podcast. Two school counselors who love their jobs. Oh, and they happen to have Southern accents too. Bless their hearts.
I'm Laura Rancourt.
And I am Kim Crumley. And together we are Counselor Accents. Two school counselors are in the trenches with you.
We know what you're going through because we're living it every single day.
And we're together. So how are you?
Well, I am injured.
Talk to me.
Okay. I hurt my wrist.
I didn't know you were going that way.
I hurt my wrist this week, but this is where we're different because I have not wanted anybody to know that my wrist was hurt. So I'm wearing a brace in secret at home where you would be. And I do have this one on that
my granddaughter
made for me.
Up. Yeah.
But I have not wanted anybody to know. I picked the girls up from daycare and I said, hey, I have hurt my wrist. We are going to go to Walmart and I'm going to need you to carry a few things.
It was that bad?
Yes. And so I picked up a brace while I was at Walmart and we ran into some friends of theirs. And first thing Ellie Blair says is, my mom's hurt her wrist and she has to get a brace, which I was trying to hide under my shoulder and everything.
I would know. I'm the kind that if I sprain my ankle a little bit, I'm going to go full grab the
wheelchair.
No, I'm going to go motorized and take that thing to school and enjoy that. So yes, we are very different. Like I would call an ambulance at every aspect of my life would that I get the attention. So that's very different.
It is different. And I wish that I had a better story on what I did to hurt my wrist.
But what did you do to hurt your wrist?
I was trying to get out of the bathroom stall at my school. You've really got to put some elbow grease into it. And I guess I pushed myself out with too much vigor.
And thus
Popped
the injury.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There was an audible pop. It was an audible pop, which is associated with a wrist sprain. So there's a chance it could be sprained from getting out
So do children have to injure themselves to get out of this stall?
No, this is the faculty stall. And in hindsight, it does have a sign on there that says out of order. And I just thought that was to keep people out so people wouldn't use it.
I would, never trust that I'm going to be okay with an out of order toilet.
But I've seen other adults go in and out of that stall.
But they're stronger than you are, obviously.
Obviously. Anyway.
And Ellie Blair, also your daughter, who is you made over, I guess, caused quite a scene at school. Do we need to wait to talk to her
She would
about
like
this?
to tell this story.
Okay.
So maybe we can pull her in on the end of this.
That would be great. Yeah, or just you interview her and let her give that story.
Yeah.
I would love for our listeners to know how much that happened on the same and that happened on the same day. So anyway,
yeah,
I hope y'all have insurance. Is all I can say.
But you've hurt yourself too.
I bit my tongue. And let me just say, I bit my tongue so hard. I was at the movies. And I went to see My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, that it was not worth the injury that I took.
Oh.
I mean, if it had been such a great movie that I could have walked away and said the singer was great. But other than that, I always enjoyed that series of movies. They're nice and clean and it was fun. But anyway, I bit my tongue and I thought it was like it was just blood.
My goodness.
It was awful. So I came home and it made me sick all over. I was sick all over. I went to bed. It's awful. You've seen it.
I saw it.
But it's bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ugh.
Now that we've complained like Abby Hood, who is my grandmother, who was a known complainer, we'll move on to lighter subject this week.
Yes. So we've done a lot of, everybody has a story. We've done a lot of they've seemed really heavy, necessary, but heavy.
Absolutely.
So we wanted to just do something that people want to know about. We're doing tools you can get from Amazon.
I love it.
For your school counseling.
Who doesn't love Amazon?
Yeah.
My husband will tell you right now how much I love Amazon. I know the driver. I know his family. We exchange gifts.
Okay, so why don't you start? You got 5 and I've got 5.
So I'm going to start first with my hand crank shredder.
Okay.
Which I have talked about the hand crank shredder in the past, but it is such a great tool because it is you can use it for lessons.
Mm-hmm.
And so student comes in, they put down something that they need to let go, and you put it on your piece of paper and they can just physically crank that thing up. I had a student who last week came in and was having a really hard time coping. In fact, we were having a meeting with his parents. They were coming in, and he's in my office, and I was cutting it and he was just shredding. I was cut paper and he was just shredding because he started out using my good paper, and that was fine, but he kept on.
Yeah.
So I just started cutting the paper and shredding the paper. So I love it. My teachers love it.
I was
They
gonna
use
say,
it too. It's very funny.
Even
So,
adults
Yep.
have
Yep.
loved it.
Yep.
So yes, get you one of those. It is one of the most used tools in my
Absolutely.
office.
Okay.
Okay, number 2, this is something that's functional. So in the past, I've talked to you about like, what can I do with my small groups to keep them organized?
Yeah.
And so I saw someone use this. They were using menu holders. You know, when you go to a restaurant
Yeah.
and you slide the menu down in there, and
Oh,
it's like,
yeah.
yeah. Well, so they were using menu holders for different like activities in the classroom, and I thought that's the answer to small groups. So if you got an activity sheet in, like, let's say you got 4 weeks worth of small group activities with a small group,
Yeah.
everybody gets their own menu holder. You stick it down in a sleeve of it,
Yeah.
and they can write on it right there on the
Yeah.
screen
Yeah.
and dry erase it. But it's a great way to stay organized and to do the activity right there on the menu holder.
I love it. Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk next about punch cards,
Okay.
and those come in a pack with like a lot, like 200. And I have had teachers who've seen these punch cards who then turn around and bought them for their class because you can use them for whatever, like 5 punches, 5 times you come see me,
Mm-hmm.
5 things that maybe I've asked you to do, and you've completed those things for problem solving or whatever. So I love the punch cards.
Well, we were speaking somewhere a few weeks ago, and we had someone ask us the question, what do you do for those frequent flyer students?
Mm-hmm.
And
We
punch
did.
cards are a great answer to that. And we've all had those students that
Mhm,
just come
mhm.
to us frequently. You can get to the point where you can say, I'm going to put this punch card here on my desk with your name on it or whatever. And every time you come see me, I'm going to punch it. And when we get to 5, when we get to 4 or whatever, then I'm going to refer you to somebody else, and just
Yeah.
paint that picture of how your needs may be greater than what I can help you with. And that's going to be our clue
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
know.
And we all run into those students who want your attention, and that's fine, but that can become a kind of a problem when you've got so many students that you're dealing with. Okay.
Very good.
Love it. Your turn.
I am going to talk about dry erase dice. So
Love those things.
yes. And so you can use these, we've seen the thumb balls, but a dry erase dice would allow you to write whatever you want on every side. So you can use them for a get to know you activity. You can use them in a lesson, but you can decide the direction of what you want to do with those. If you want to put numbers on the side, that's fine. If you want to put a coping skill that everybody has to do, but they're just so versatile and kids love them. So, dry erase
love it.
dice.
So I'm excited about this next one. It's in my cart now, but it's anxiety sensory stickers. Have you used those before?
I have.
You love them?
I love them. Like, yes.
Okay, so I've added those to my cart
Okay.
because I have a lending library,
Mm-hmm.
if you will, of sensory things. And so I wrote a grant, and I got them off Amazon, the weighted lap blankets.
Oh, yeah.
But the weighted lap blankets are washable. Like you can wash them off. Like there's not a cloth on it, but it still is soft, and it sits. And I got them for all different weights because I have a large, different kids weigh different. So got a range of those. And then I have the for the feet, the little bouncy rubber bands that go around the seat. I have those. And of course, just your stress balls and that kind of thing. So I get those checked out from my lending library all the time, but sometimes I had 2 kids who were middle school students who came in looking for something because they had ADHD, could not be still. And I think these would be great things that they could put on their notebook. One guy kept getting in trouble for tapping the desk. So I'm always looking for, and sometimes the lap doesn't do as well for middle school. They want something smaller. So this answers that need.
Those are perfect. I give those out all the time. They're textured, so the kids can just rub their finger over them, and sometimes that's enough just to calm them.
Yeah.
And the ones that you have in your cart have different shapes, so they can
Start
trace
breathing.
the shape. Yes.
Perfect. Stars or the figure 8 breathing. So perfect. Love it.
Very good. Okay. Along those same lines, I am going to tell you about a calming ball. And you are going to want one of these.
Okay.
And I'm going to want one of these. So think back to the Magic 8 Ball, which I was not allowed to play with.
Right.
I don't know if you
want to do the magical. Yes.
But if you shake it, and say, am I going to win some money today?
Love me?
Right.
And it would say, yes, he does.
It's
or
probable.
So we didn't play with it, but we know all
all
scenario.
about it. Okay. So the calming ball is along those same lines. You shake it and it gives you a coping skill to try.
Oh.
So think of how much fun that would be for a student to come in.
Absolutely. Small groups, individual. I am loving that so much. So please share that with me. Are you going to share these on the end of it? Because I want that in my cart. Very good. All right. So you have the printer, right? The little printer. You bought one of those little printers that I use all the time. Right? Okay. So back to that. That's something we've talked about before. It's a handheld. Nimbot is mine. I use it because I'm doing labels all the time. I'm putting labels on folders. When students come in and our system, when a student has, we have to keep up with like how many times that they have sent home for threats, for the sales or others or whatever. So you make those labels for different things. And so I can just hook that to my phone, type their name in. After you get the Nimbot app, shoot that out. So the Nimbot is my choice.
Okay. I am going to talk about the mini backpacks.
I love that.
I've used those a lot in elementary. They go along with a book called What's in Your Backpack, I believe is the name of the book. I give the kids a backpack and it's very tiny, like maybe 3 inches tall. And they can it's just a tangible thing.
It is.
To carry with them. But I've started using it in middle school, and I go back to what Brent Cosby talked about how
he's been on our podcast before,
about how a firefighter will train and carry those things, that heavy load in their backpack. And, sometimes with older students, they're more aware of what they're dealing with that maybe is not their fault.
Right. And there, as Brent Cosby says, there's nothing that we're going to do other than to listen. We can't take away a bad parent or a bad situation sometimes. If they're just in a parent with cancer or whatever they're going through sometimes. So go ahead.
Yeah. And so when they get to the end of what all they're telling me, and I say, that's a lot. And then I explain to them what Brent Cosby said on his episode about how a firefighter trains by carrying around a lot of weight. And then I just explain to them that they are going to be very strong and the stuff that they're being forced to carry around. So then I give them that backpack and tell them, when you think of something else that has happened to you that you're not in control of, it's just happened to you and you're in the middle of it, write it and put it in this backpack.
That's good.
And they are loving it. Like these older kids are getting so excited.
They get that. They can get that. Yeah. And it gives them hope that you're not going through this for nothing. You're going to be stronger that. There's things that you are going to be more aware of, and you're going to be stronger because of that adversity that they're having to go through. Yeah. Do you have any others? Are we wrapping this up?
Well,
because I have one.
Okay.
Maybe your same one.
No, I have another one.
Okay, go ahead.
How did we get off on our numbers? Because you had 5 and I had.
I wasn't even counting. So go ahead. I'm going to end with it.
Okay. I want you to say the one that you didn't want to say that was on your list.
Round stickers.
They're not just round stickers.
Then make it work for me.
They are scratch off stickers.
Go ahead.
They're scratch off stickers.
Talk to us about the scratch off.
So I have gotten so excited when I saw the scratch off stickers because you can think bingo card, if you will.
Yes.
And we're not using it for bingo, but I'm just talking about the format of a bingo card. Let's think about coping skills, that you've got coping skills in those squares. Slap a scratch off sticker on top of those coping skills, and then let the student come in and use a quarter and scratch it off.
I gotcha.
I think part of the element of surprise, what's my coping skill going to be, or whatever is under that scratch off sticker.
I love that so much because it's almost like that 8-ball.
Yeah.
Plus, who doesn't love a scratch off? And you could use it for more than just that. I mean,
course.
you could use it for so many things. That is so cool. I love it.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So, and you can get a roll of them off of Amazon, and then the sky is really the limit on what you do with those.
Thank you.
A roll is
thinking
$99. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And then the other one, this is so gross, but I'll bet you this is the one that our listeners are going to order more than any other.
Okay.
So I found this stone that you squeeze some kind of, it's almost like colored glue.
Yeah.
The stone, what is it when it's got holes? Is that porous?
Porous.
Okay. The stone is very porous. And so you put this colored glue on it, and then it comes with a tool, and you pick that glue off of the stone. And so it is for people with ADHD, is what it says on there, like a therapeutic tool for people with ADHD.
I have never heard of this.
And you can just, now when I was younger, like elementary, I loved to put glue on my hands and pick the glue off.
Yeah.
And so it gives me that, it's like more cultured now.
Oh,
You know what I
you're
mean?
not picking glue
You're
off
not
your head.
picking
It's
off
off
your
of a
hands,
rock.
it's off a
porous rock. I can see that being, it keeps them busy. It's a tool. They're doing something. They're accomplishing something, and it's keeping their hands busy.
But it comes with several different tools, like excavating tools.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That is new to me.
It was new to me too. I'd never seen anything like it. So,
Well, I'm going to end, if I
Okay.
may, with the number one Amazon tool, and that is our book.
yes, it is necessary.
It is
For your school counseling
along
office.
with that glued rock. It's necessary.
The picking rock.
The picking rock. You need the book. Growing Your Program
For school counselors. Yep,
I had to think about the name. Did you notice?
I did.
Okay.
I was
What
trying
is
to
the name
help
of that
you.
book we wrote?
And I thought maybe we could just make it sound like you're building excitement.
Well,
Growing.
Your. And I'm really going.
What? But, yes, we've gotten some great reviews back from it.
And so it's on Amazon. Check it out. It's a fun read, but it is also informative. You can't beat that combination.
Yeah.
Mhm. Kind of like me. Funny and cute. Okay. Too far?
I was going to go informative.
All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All hearts and minds clear?
Yes.
Okay. So check us out.
Yep. We will link all of these in our show notes so that if you want the picking rock, we won't judge you. Go pick
away.
yourself
Oh,
a rock.
okay.
I didn't realize where that was going
I
to
was like, pick your nose?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, go.
Okay.
You're
so
done?
thrown off now.
Okay.
Because pick yourself a rock. I meant,
Yeah.
but it's over.
I
now.
just, and you know what? If you don't want to do the Amazon price, you could go get a rock and just put glue all over it
That thought never occurred
as
to
a
me.
toothpick.
Like, never occurred
Ha,
to me.
ha.
You're a genius.
I am.
I am here with, say your name,
Ellie Blair.
Ellie Blair. This is my younger daughter. And Ellie Blair, you had an injury this week. Miss Kim and I both talked about our injuries that we had. We talked about at the beginning of the podcast. And so I felt like your injury was so severe, you needed to tell our listeners about your injury that happened this week. Tell our listeners where you were at the time of the injury.
Okay. So I was on my playground.
Okay, you can't be as dramatic as that. Just state
Dramatic.
the facts. Yeah.
Okay.
So where were you?
So I was at the playground at my recess time.
Okay, so you were there on the playground, and tell our listeners what piece of equipment you were playing on there on the playground.
So there's this like dinosaur slide. If anyone comes to my school, you will know if you're a kindergarten or a first grader. So I was like playing on the dinosaur slide. I was looking at the view of the playground like this. Oh, what a beautiful playground. Kind of like it's like a railing, a big fence to not make you fall off. But it has these like lines,
Like railings.
that, and I didn't know that I would get stuck. I got stuck. And my friend Trinity, she came and said, she was like, Ellie Blair, come chase me. And I was like, no, I'm stuck.
So at that moment, you realized your leg was stuck.
Yes.
And how were you feeling?
Scared, anxious. My heart was beating like.
Okay, so pretty severe feelings. Okay, so at that moment, did you think it's okay, I got this, or were you thinking I need help? Where were your thoughts at that moment?
My thoughts were like pounding. My thoughts were like, maybe I should get the teacher, or should I do something? And I chose the thought to help myself. I pulled and pulled, tried to get my leg out. I was just crazy thoughts. Crazy. Like
Trying to get your leg out.
I was
So
like,
you were frantic. You were frantically trying to get your leg out.
I was just it was a severe, anxious thing. I was so scared. I couldn't even breathe at that moment.
Okay. So what happened next when you realized, okay, this is more than what I can do?
So my friend Trinity said, do you need to go get the teacher? And I was like, no, I got it.
You still didn't want to call for help. You just thought you got this on your own.
Yeah, I got this. I'm like, oh, no leg can stop me.
No leg can stop me.
And I was just trying to pull my leg out.
Okay, so then what?
Then she got the teacher
Okay,
and
so your teacher came over and your teacher tried to what?
help me, and she helped and helped. But then some other teachers were like, what are you doing? And I was like, She pointed at me. I was terrified. 3 more teachers came in. And you know what 3 plus 1 is?
What?
It is 4.
Okay.
4 teachers were with me.
Oh my goodness, 4 teachers. Now, what about the kids?
The kids, they were like everywhere. They wanted to look at me. And one teacher was up there with me, and she said,
She was on the dinosaur slide.
Go. We have to evacuate the dinosaur slide. Evacuate it.
Whoa.
It was scary. I was living scared.
So it was also picture day.
I was pictured perfect. So I was like,
so you were picture perfect. You were picture perfect, you said, up there on the dinosaur slide. So you were stuck, but at least you looked fabulous, right? Okay. How was your hair?
My hair was curly. It was fabulous.
Okay.
I'm staring at you.
And so then what happened? So your teacher couldn't get in your leg. You couldn't get your leg. The 3 other teachers couldn't get your leg. So at what point, what happened next?
Well, my friend Maggie Maggie's mom or dad is watching this. So I have two Maggies. So yeah, I was scared. My heart was pounding.
Your friend Maggie tried to help.
No, she
No.
was just staring at me saying,
Just waving. Okay. So what finally happened to get you some help that you needed?
so my teacher called Miss Megan. She was my hero. She tried and tried to help me. Finally got my leg out.
Whew. How did you feel once your leg came free?
I was crying. It felt sore whenever I was walking or running. It hurt.
Wow. So you had some injuries that lasted, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I am so glad though that you're free from the dinosaur slide. How do you feel about getting up on the dinosaur slide again? You're going to tackle it again?
I'm probably not gonna go on there.
Okay. So you're done with the dinosaur slide.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm done with it. Next time I go on there, I'm gonna punch.
Okay. Well, let's don't cause any damage to the dinosaur slide.
Yeah, well, I'll just give it a black eye.
Well, thank you for telling your story of bravery and courage. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. And to all of our listeners out there, if you would like to follow us on Instagram, you are welcome to do that. You can like us on Facebook. Don't forget that we have a book called Growing Your Program for School Counselors. You can find that on Amazon and a few other book retailers. If you buy that on Amazon, go ahead and give us a review on there because it does help other people find our book. Same thing with this podcast. If you like it, we would love a 5-star review. And the reason why you love our podcast, because other people search for school counseling podcasts and they find this one. And we also have several speaking engagements coming up. So listen up, watch our Instagram feed to find out where we will be speaking because we may just be in your state soon.
And I'm also going to be there sometimes too.
Really?
So watch out whenever I'm coming in.
So Ellie Blair may be there. I just found that out. So surprise guest, Ellie Blair may be there and she can autograph something for you. So
I am a picture perfect girl.
picture perfect girl. So don't miss it. Tell everybody bye.
Bye. I hope you give this a thumbs up.